advantage. Nice work, Spartans.
Aw, yeah. That was a great Warzone match. GG's, guys. GG's. Man, I wonder what Halo 5 is going to be like once that last update comes out at the end of the month. Speaking of June, E3's coming up. I wonder what'll be announced for Halo. Can't just be Halo Wars 2, can it? Oh my gosh, look at the clock. It's almost showtime. I gotta find Lurker and Rippin. That's weird. I wonder where Lurker is. Come to think of it, I haven't seen him in a while. His last YouTube upload was like 1,000,000 years ago. I'll check my friends list real quick, see if he's online. There he is, on Dark Souls 3. Oh man, there's only one way to get his attention. I gotta go in to Dark Souls. Lurker! There you are, dude. I've been looking all over for you.
Dragoon, look out, dude!
Ah! What is that?
It's a Dark Souls boss. Get behind me, man. I got this. Whew. Tough fight, dude. How'd you get in here?
We got a show to record, dude. Come on.
Oh yeah, bro. I'll be right there. Just got a homeward bone back to the bonfire, level up my dex, spend some souls on this new katana, some Titanite. You know the deal.
What?
I'll be right there. Don't you worry your pretty little head about it, Dragoon.
Okay. I'm gonna go find Rippin and then
No, Dragoon, not that way. Look out! Dark Souls. Keeps forgetting he's playing Dark Souls.
Okay, where is Rippin? This is getting ridiculous. Oh, there he is. In Halo 5 Infection. Go figures. Better load it up and grab him for the show.
Infection.
Rippin. Where are you, dude? What's that noise?
Triple. Overkill. Kill-tacular. Kill-trocity. Kill him and jump. 1 minute left. Kill-catastrophe.
Get at me, zombie scum. You cannot touch this last man standing. I will send you straight back to the pits that you came from.
Rippin. Dude, there you are. Yo, man, we got a show to record. It's like past time.
Hold on, mate. I'm just on my 6th Killionaire of this match, going for my 7th.
Killionaire.
Rippin, have you slept since Infection came out?
I mean, yeah, of course I have. Yeah, I've slept, yeah.
Okay, because we have a lot to talk about today. I saw how many last man standings you got in the bulletin. It's kind of crazy.
Do you know what else is crazy?
What?
You're infected, mate.
Game over. Victory.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Mythic Cast.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Mythic Cast. Joining me are my two permanent members, Rippin and Lurker. The three of us have talked about this for a long time. We wanted to have critical discussion, talk about Halo news, and keep listeners up to date with the ever-growing amount of stuff going on within the Halo scene. So first off, we got Rippin and we got Lurker. Hello.
Hello.
How are you guys doing today, man?
Not too bad, thank you. Not too
Doing
bad.
great.
Excellent. Well, for a little bit of background, Rippin, when did you get started in Halo? Who the heck are you?
Oh, I go back to the Halo CE days, back when I was a little scrub, playing on LANs with friends. I basically started playing Halo seriously in Halo 3. I was a leaderboard guy, a stat guy, just played the game non-stop, free-for-all. Got into YouTube stuff around the end of Halo 3 when YouTube was kind of blowing up, and just gone from there.
Excellent. Lurker, my friend. What's your background, dude?
I played Halo CE in high school, those old school LAN days at friends' apartments, but I wouldn't call myself a serious Halo player until Reach. I've been doing Halo YouTube since Halo 4, and yeah, I'm just kind of a washed up Halo YouTuber at this point because I haven't uploaded in a long time, but excited to do the podcast for sure.
Right on. Well, we looked at the scene, and like Ripon said, we have a lot of potential for conversation starters and discussion. Additionally, we get the chance to look forward at Halo's future because, I don't know, I think we're at a tipping point where the franchise could really grow depending on their decisions moving forward past Halo Wars 2 into Halo 6 and however the franchise lives on past this 343 trilogy. And we want to be there to at least be a part of the conversation. For the listeners, the frequency of this show is going to be about every month to month and a half. We don't want to do it like weekly or twice a month because there just isn't enough to talk about, right?
Yeah. Updates once a month is pretty good for Halo because I think this is the first Halo game that's had that many updates.
Yeah.
But doing a weekly podcast, you'd just be saying the same stuff over and over again. Once per update sounds pretty spot on, I think.
Plus, we leave ourselves more time for that critical discussion. We can have guests on. We can really delve deep into each of these updates.
Thank you for bringing that up. I almost forgot. Yeah, we plan to have guests on almost every show of the Mythic Cast, if possible. Folks from the community who are contributing either from forgers to YouTubers to streamers, etc. Real fast overview of the show. We're going to talk about the Halo Waypoint update that just came out last night, which is hype because I added it to the show notes, man. Halo 5 coming to PC in a limited version with the Hog Wild update. Briefly talk about Memories of Reach, some recapping and feedback. E3 predictions, which I know these two guys have a lot in store to talk about. Mm-hmm. And then finally, what does the future of Halo 5 look like after the final update, Firefight, at the end of June? So, before we launch into it, what'd you guys play this week? Ripon, starting with you, man.
I have pretty much only played Infection over the last week, actually. I played pretty much the most Infection out of anyone that I can think of. I played about 150 games. I was featured on the bulletin last night. I have the most last man standing medals by like 40 above the guy in second place. 343 actually contacted me to tell me that before the update. So, and they called me a nerd for playing so much Infection in the nicest of ways. So that was kind of cool, actually.
Did you smile a little bit when you got that DM? You're like, yeah, I know.
Yeah. I got the DM at like 6 a.m. from Unishek, and he's like, "Hey, have you been playing Infection?" I was like, "Yeah, you're a bit of a nerd, aren't you?" I was like, "Yeah, you're miles ahead of everyone." And I work a full-time job as well. So
yeah.
By the way, Unishek is a straight-up zombie himself because he will send you DMs or like Skype messages middle of the night, like he's on all the time. I swear, the he's a monster.
Yeah, I get on a European. Dude, Unishek's a legend. I get him at EU prime time, and he's online grinding Infection.
Yeah.
He wants that number one spot, but no chance. It's mine.
Boom, shut down, man. All right, Lurker, what'd you play this week, dude?
I've been just kind of dipping my toe back into Halo 5 with this update. So I played some Warzone. I played a little bit of the Arena Preview playlist. A few games here and there to kind of catch myself back up and get back up to speed.
How fun was it taking a break and coming back? You bring your sweatpants with you?
So, Halo 5 is a very hardcore arena shooter, so I find myself having to play pretty hard for a few months and take a break for a little bit and then come back, and it's rough when you come back, I won't lie.
Yeah. Oh man, dude, it's
rough.
I had a similar event where, I'm scared to say this, but the April update for another game that I'm not sure if I can mention here, but I played like 3 weeks of Destiny, and then I hopped back into Halo 5, and since Memories of Reach, I've been getting more comfortable, but the first 2 or 3 days is just like, take your head and slam it into your desk for about 2 hours, and that's about it. You're just reminded constantly, like, dude, the skill curve in this game is real.
Yeah.
But,
oh, yes, it is. It's completely different.
Well, gents, I think it's time to hop into the meat and potatoes of today's show. Hot off the printing presses is the Halo community update from Bravo. Dude, this guy publishes these things so late at night. They stay late over at 343, man, with Bravo doing this update. Am I right?
To be honest, I would happily work to that time if that was my job. So it's all good.
It'd be kind of cool to be there, especially when you have the protest team just go down the hall and be like, yo, Ghost, 1v1, Stasis, let's go.
Where's my invite, 343? Come on now.
Bring it on. Biggest news this week came out of left field, Halo 5 coming to PC. But we should state it's free It's only on Windows 10. It has Forge support and custom game support. No matchmaking, no single player, no Warzone. But what did you guys think about this? It just was like, for me, completely unexpected.
Yeah, who saw this coming? I definitely did not see this coming. It's interesting that they focused on Forge for this too, and they made it very clear that there are no plans to bring a full-scale Halo 5 over to Windows, but still, I mean, more people working on Halo content, working on Halo maps, it's always welcome in my opinion.
I think it's great. I'm definitely not a PC gamer, but I know how many PC players want to play Halo. And even though it is just customs and Forge, which I completely understand this far down into Halo 5's life, being able to Forge with mouse and keyboard and hopefully improve cameras will be insane. It'll be so much easier for those hardcore Forge guys to like place objects. Copy and pasting will probably be a lot easier as well. And I'm hoping this means we can have a lot more custom maps in the actual game in matchmaking. So hopefully this just goes smoothly and works straight away, and we actually get a new playlist from this as well. That would be my big hope.
Imagine if you're a filmmaker, right? Somebody who does montage editing for people, and you have access to this. Now, you won't be able to obviously use the theater, but like you said, with Forge, you can animate those cameras. I just see with 4K support a lot of potential for some interesting, like, cinematic in-between shots. You know, in the montage, you got the clips, and then you got to have, like, the swooping camera, like, this is what he looks like from third person. It's, like, pretty cliche, but you're like, oh, that was pretty cool. I like that.
It's going to be interesting. I'm gonna try it out on my not so good PC, so we'll see if it actually runs. But it will be interesting. I'm glad the PC guys are getting some love, even though it's just a small taste of Halo 5.
Do you think third-party sites are going to arise? Because, guys, there's no matchmaking in this. It's not like you can click matchmaking and match in multiplayer, but you can do custom games, which that's going to be a scene of its own on PC. But I think you're going to see third-party sites creating actual matchmaking paradigms so you can just find people to play with.
What was the last actual PC Halo? It was Halo 2 Vista, minus that one Russian game that came out, right?
Yeah.
Well, there are a lot of mods, right? There's the that CE mod that's all that's on PC for Halo.
Custom Edition has a boatload of mods, but like the last one was Vista.
Yeah, I mean, I think the PC guys needed this. I know PC Master Race is just like a big thing. I'm glad they've got this because Halo 5 is the best Halo in a long time. So I think they deserve it.
It's going to be DirectX 12, which is pretty exciting. 4K resolution support as well. One of the questions I keep getting asked quite a few times, will there be crossplay between PC and Xbox One? And the answer there is no. And
that's
the day
a much
that
more
happens,
complicated problem than they're willing to tackle right now. Yeah, mouse and keyboard versus a console controller player is definitely... it's the key, I think, to having huge populations in games. I think it's some problem games are going to have to tackle in the future, but I don't think we're quite there yet.
I would honestly drop Halo if it was cross-play. Like, let's say in the future Halo 6 is Windows 10 and Xbox One, and they're always cross-play. I'd be done with, like, Xbox on console altogether, because the movement that you get from keyboard mouse is just, you can't compare the two. It's unbelievable, the amount of accuracy. Like, I started on PC with FPS long time ago with, like, Unreal Tournament 2003, and what's weird to me is, like, Halo always was built from the ground up in the Bungie days for the controller. Bungie has got that secret sauce to make shooters feel really good on a controller. And just a lot of the mechanics within Halo are built around the fact that there's a controller. You bring it to the PC, it really changes up a lot of things. So, I don't know. Exciting.
I think it's just a massive positive. I didn't see it coming at all, but I'm so glad it has. I never even thought about just having Forge on PC, but it's just such a good idea, and I'm glad they've done it. And it's free. I mean, you cannot argue with free content.
No. Are you guys going to upgrade to Windows 10 for this?
I've had Windows 10 before launch. I had it like a year before launch on the beta program because I'm a Windows insider. Nerd. Yeah, so I love Windows 10. Yeah, I've had it for such a long time. I've always liked it. It's fine for me. I've had no issues whatsoever, to be honest.
Can I make a confession? I'm a Mac guy, so
yeah. I
like
knew
paying extra money to have my computer do everything for me.
One day, we're going to bring you to the PC Master Race. But I don't even have that nice a PC either, but this will probably be my breaking point of having to upgrade to Windows 10, because I love Windows 7 to death. But I'm sorry, forging on PC sounds like the most relaxing thing ever, whereas I always get so frustrated with the controller because I'm like, no, you go here.
You need so many buttons as well, that's the problem. I've made one map in Forge, and it took me like 4 hours to get one wall. I'm so bad at Forge. I'm so bad.
You sit there going, I'm going to make a cool map. 2.5 hours later, you've got like a ramp and like a sniper, and you're like, I don't get how people do this. I don't get it.
Not a clue. Not a clue.
Does this add a little bit more validity to that potential MCC leak on the Windows Store? So for recap, Rip, and you tweeted this out earlier, there was found a listing on the Windows Store for Halo Master Chief Collection. This is ahead of the merging of the Windows and Xbox stores because of the Universal Windows Play stuff that's coming later this summer. Basically apps that are on the Windows Store. Some of them are going to be available for Xbox One and kind of vice versa.
I'm just going to say this straight away. I hope MCC does not come to PC.
Interesting.
I want the campaigns to come. I think the campaigns on PC, go for it. But the amount of issues MCC has and previously had, I cannot imagine a team at 343 having the capability to make it work on PC with all the different variety of settings and coding you're going to need.
Yeah.
Bring the campaigns, sure, make sure they work online, but multiplayer on those games on PC, especially when they already have Halo CE and Halo 2, I don't see the need to bring them over. However, it's one of those things where if it's free, go for it. But I just don't want people's expectations to be crushed if it comes out and it doesn't work, because my MCC experience was so... It just hurt so much.
Wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
No, like, it took 6 months to find a game. Quite literally. 6 months of patches. And I played it today. I actually played MCC earlier today, and it runs fairly well, but it still crashed. After, how long's it been out? Like a year and a bit, and it still crashes.
It's still got a laundry list of issues. It's light years better, but I agree with that sentiment. It's a mixed bag.
Well, plus
I don't want the bad press. Go for it.
How big is 343? Because they've got Halo Wars 2, they're still updating Halo 5, they're making potential PC ports of like Halo 5, and
Halo
doing
6.
MCC. Halo 6, how stretched is that team going to be? Because it's not a big team as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, that's what
engineers.
That's what I was going to get at too, was how can we devote the resources to something like that when really they should be focusing on anything past Halo 5, Halo Wars, and Halo 6, hopefully.
Yeah,
hopefully.
We'll have to wait for E3. I don't want the bad press if it comes out and it doesn't work again, which is what I would expect, because it's just a nightmare. I can't imagine the
I'm just
logistics
going to say
of it all.
one thing on this. Right, Halo is, at the moment, is on such an up curve from Halo Reach, which kind of started a down curve, Halo MCC, Halo 4, and Halo 5, even though it launched in a state I particularly didn't enjoy because there was so little content, in my opinion, it's got better every single month. The feedback from 343, they are updating the game so often, even in playlists at the moment, and the worst thing that can happen now is to have another negative.
Yes.
Because in my opinion, Halo 6 is like the make or break. It's a bit cliche, but I think Halo 6 is where people go, oh, 343 can do this, or they cannot do this. And I think they've blown it with Halo 4. They blew it with Halo MCC massively. Halo 5 launched. It was stable, which surprised me massively, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
And if they keep improving the game and Halo 6 launches with all of Halo 5's features and more, you've got a winner. And just do that. And Halo Wars 2, not a big fan of Halo Wars, but I know lots of people are. If it launches and it works, just do it. Don't make mistakes. Just try and focus on the good stuff, in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, before we talk about Hog Wild, Rippin, you're in this update. Why? Yeah, here you are. Last Survivors. 111 Last Survivors. And Udashek had 64, but Bravo stuck his name in that spot instead, right?
Yeah, I don't really know what's going on there. I mean, I've played quite a bit of Infection. I do like Infection videos and stuff. So I was really enjoying it. I really do love Infection. I didn't expect to be in that particular position of number 1. I mean, I'm quite a bit ahead of number 2. I mean, good for me. I've still got it. I'm getting old, but I've still got it.
There we go. So the Hog Wild Rec update is coming a bit earlier than the Firefight update. So for schedule-wise, at the end of May, we're getting Hog Wild Rec, and then at the end of June, the Warzone Firefight update is going to be dropping. It's going to have the PvE mode Firefight with a variety of maps to play on, new game updates and features, Warzone and Arena maps, and a plethora of Forge updates, including a new canvas, and more new recs, and, that's going to be our big final hurrah. They say that this is the largest update to release, which is Firefight. First of all, Hog Wild Rex, did you guys see the Sword Needler Warthog?
Crazy, man. Crazy.
I don't think Rippin's not a Warzone guy, is he?
No. I mean, I play Warzone every now and then. It just doesn't appeal to me, and it's nothing against Warzone because I have played it and have enjoyed it massively. But from my point of view as like an arena guy, like it doesn't make sense to me. They keep adding all these new features, but I think the core game just needs a better more maps. I don't think you need more wrecks at this point. I think they're running out of ideas because I've seen the DMR and the BR with the carbine scope. Why?
Yeah, it is.
Like, I think the guys that have run out of ideas and are just going, we'll just swap the scopes and all the weapons, and next we'll see a Magnum with a sniper scope and a needle with a rocket aim, and like I think there's so many wrecks now where the system is just so clunky as well. It takes forever to find the right weapon at high level, and it's just just calm it down. Like there's like 50 different versions of the SMG. Yeah, which in reality it doesn't change how the weapon forms. You got
to think about it though. Like Warzone is, as far as the last numbers I saw, the most popular mode in Halo 5. It's the most played. It has the highest population, and then it's got a huge community of people making content about it, about these different weapon combinations and rec combinations. I mean, it's a mode that's constantly changing and evolving, and people are playing it differently all the time. People are figuring out new ways to to do insane things in it. So I kind of like the whole sandboxy, crazy nature of Warzone. I mean, it may not be the most balanced thing all the time, but it's definitely... It's where a lot of the casual fun from Halo 5 comes from, and we all know that some of that casual fun in Halo 5 can be a little bit few and far between because it's such a hardcore arena.
That is a big topic at the moment. I keep discussing with people.
Yeah.
To be honest, that's a topic I've been very passionate about, but we'll get onto that in a little while.
Putting on a high-level active camo and running around with a shotgun and just cheesing on people is pretty hilarious to me. So.
Sounds like my nightmare.
It is
different end of the spectrum, isn't it?
It is such a opposite viewpoint of the arena, the perfect noble, like we all have an equal chance. Yeah. I'm going to get that rocket launcher because I got there first, or I killed you for it. And then when you get into Warzone, it is just a little bit like, wait, I can just call in like the best sniper on earth plus a binary rifle. I'm telling you, Warzone for me changed dramatically as soon as I unlocked the DMR rec. Because if you don't have a DMR and you're versing like a team who hits level 6, you're done. I'm sorry, like it changed entirely. I'm like, oh my gosh, I am amazing.
I have a great story about this. When Warzone, when Halo 5 first came out, I was lucky enough to play in a full team, and we came against 343 on like the third day of Halo 5.
Was it Unisec Squad?
We got steamrolled so hard. And I know 343 claim, disclaimer here, that they do not use rec packs on their own account, but they had like 17 different tanks, and it was just, I think we lost like 1,000 to 200.
When I inspect Unisec in those parties, because he will like party up with full teams of like 11 monsters, and I just sit there and I go, oh my gosh, I get why he has like a 90% win rate in that playlist, because it's like, I don't want to match you guys ever.
Man. I played with Unisec as well, and he takes it very seriously. He's a bit of a rager. I'm going to call him out here. He does rage a bit when he gets killed. It's kind of funny.
Dude, it's his shtick. Like back in his day, watching the stream, I've made so many little GIFs and funny videos of Unisec. I can't.
He's a cool guy. Yes. We didn't always get along, but we do now. He's a good guy.
I matched Roy in Warzone before.
Right.
Yeah,
how was he?
It was a nightmare. I got lagged out, unfortunately. And I'm not saying like I got lagged out as in I quit, but I definitely got lagged out.
That happened.
Because, otherwise it would have been like game over, like just put your controller down, Roy.
Yeah, I mean, lurkers on the
I got lagged out, so obviously,
Oh, man. All right. So Warzone Firefight, end of June. Looks like we are getting a Warzone and Arena map. It's going to be big. I don't want to spend too much time because in a future show we'll get to talk about it. But I didn't play the beta. Everything was coming out at the same time, like the Mirror's Edge Catalyst beta, and then there was an Overwatch beta.
I played Firefight quite a lot, actually.
What'd you think? Yes? No? Maybe so?
I don't see the need for it, personally. Again, Arena guy. No!
But, I got some stuff to say about that.
I played I think I played around 15 games, and I was like, okay, I'm just killing AI. What do I get out of it? And I just burnt my rec points. I mean, I have like 1 million, so it's not a big deal, but I just don't understand why. I mean, personally for me, I'm not a campaign guy, so I think that's probably why. I love the Halo campaign, don't get me wrong, but I'm such a multiplayer-focused guy, like the free-for-all and Arena. Yeah. That stuff just doesn't appeal to me. I played it, I enjoyed the first 2 games, but then after that, it was just like, wash my hands and repeat the exact same process.
Yeah.
And I know there was like, we're going to randomize every single wave, but in reality, there's like 3 different waves. it's just one of those. I mean, it just doesn't appeal to me. It doesn't mean it's not a good idea. And I'm sure there's thousands of people who really want it as well. So it's one person versus 1,000, I think, in that. And I think for the guys who want it, it felt really played really well, didn't crash. It was difficult enough as well for a good team. So I think it's a good idea. It's just not something I personally enjoy.
So in my opinion, Halo 5 drastically needed a kick back and relax, PvE focus mode, non-competitive, non-stress, just a way to be able to play some campaign-focused, PvE-focused stuff with your friends. And Halo 5's campaign, to be honest, didn't have the legs that I think a lot of people wanted it to. And with no reach style, like daily bounties and stuff like that to sort of farm wrecks or something like that. I mean, having that firefight mode could just be a way for more people to get more fun out of sort of a different aspect of Halo 5, I guess.
You see, that's what Warzone is to me. Warzone is I play with no sound. I'll still get 50 kills. I don't actually use rec points. I just go in with a Magnum.
Yeah.
Because the Magnum is so... I don't want to say the word balance, but it's so effective in Warzone still. I'll just pick up other people's weapons when I kill them. I don't really use my own rec points. I'm a bit of a scrounger. I'll save everything. I don't spend them.
So arena, bro. You're so arena. I agree with Lurker entirely, man. There's two things that you mentioned. First of all, those daily bounties, or I can't even remember what they're called, challenges for Halo Reach.
Yeah,
those were one of the greatest things ever, and I'm very disappointed they haven't come back. When I was first starting YouTube, me and M. Vito, for about 3 months, did every single daily and weekly. I mean, we just sat on Reach. It was so fun for us because, here was a mini goal to get in, and you got the credit bonus, and you'd play a lot of Reach Firefight, which Reach Firefight was... you didn't have to work at all. It was extremely easy. There was virtually no threat of death, it seemed, or failure. But rewind the clock, ODST Firefight, I think, is viewed as the pinnacle of Firefight within the series, and it's because it offered difficulty. It felt more like a Horde mode. I've looked at ODST Firefight and gone, Destiny, please, why can't Prison of Elders be more like this? Because I found it fantastic, and I agree with Lurker. I really want a game mode like this in Halo, and to be something they look at moving forward, because there needs to be a persistent PvE experience beyond campaign. We're seeing the success of games like Destiny that offer both, hey, here's PvP and PvE. That's not going to change moving forward. The FPS console crowd is accustomed to, all right, well, what do I do with my friends that isn't just the campaign? So I'm looking forward to it.
And it's all about the incentive too, and the rec system has a lot of great incentives. They could sort of intertwine with that, make people want to play it a lot, make people be invested in it, and then it's just a whole new aspect of Halo, rather than just the hardcore arena or the Warzone. There's just a whole nother side that could be explored, I think, and Firefight's the first step in that.
Maybe that's why I don't play. I don't play, as I said, I don't play Warzone particularly, and maybe that's why, because the rec for me isn't an incentive. What do I get as an arena player, so to speak, to stereotype
skins?
myself?
Yeah, the casual player, they want armor, they want skins, they want those fun wrecks, all that stuff.
I think last week before the DLC, the latest patch, the Halo Reach one, I had 1.2 million rec points, I think. So I bought all the Halo Reach DLC, and I still had 700,000 points left. And it's what else can I get now, please?
Buy it all, Rippin'.
Well, I wasted all my points. I just bought every single gold pack, which took about 4 hours to get done, because the servers that day, everyone was buying the Halo Reach packs, so the servers were crying in stress. And I'm going again from 0 to 1 million, just because for me that's like an XP system in the game, which we don't currently have. So I can use rec points as EXP. That's kind of what I use for motivation to play the game still. So it is what it is. I think for the arena guys, again, to say that kind of phrase like all the forums do, there's just no incentive with the rec system unless you want skins, which if you've already got the one you want, it's a mix between
more skins. More skins.
You need CSGO style skins. Every single weapon should have skins.
I love the weapon skins. They motivate me. By the way, real quick, rec services, I complain a lot about them going down, and yesterday I tweeted it, and Unishek shot me a reply back. A lot of times, it's not the rec service going down on 343's end. It's often when Xbox makes a bad call to the 343 services. And so relaunching the game or doing a hard reset should fix it. So it's generally not on 343's end when the rec does the can't find the score screen junk or can't actually call recs in or open packs or sell stuff. It's something in between the servers and 3v3. So I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be a social and gaming issue. When Xbox servers had a rough time this year, to be honest.
Yeah, you got to restart the build.
boys.
Yeah.
Restarting the build
build.
always fixes it. I've had games like that during the Halo for Craze live stream. I had a game, like 2 or 3 games on stream, where I was just picking up BRs and SMGs off the ground because I couldn't call in Rex for the whole game. So you just have to hard reset. Yeah, it's an easy fix.
Yeah.
If the Mythic Cast ever has T-shirts, we're putting on the back of it, restart the build.
It was like an MCC throwback, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was the
Never
answer to
forget.
everything.
All right, let's talk about Memories of Reach because we've gotten through the full update.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some other stuff about Arena, but unless you guys want to touch on it, I think we just move forward, yeah?
On the Memories of Reach, I think it's the best DLC that we've had for the game. I call it DLC, and I know it's a free expansion, but I think it is the best one we've had, personally. I think the change to like the GUI, where you see all your post-game stats, fantastic. Should have been there from day one, yes, but we've got it again because we've fed it back. Great. Infection, crazy fun, that's good. It feels like social. And all the cool armor from Halo Reach, it does look cool. It does look really sick.
Yeah.
I have it all. It looks good. And I think it is the best DLC overall. And with search preferences as well, I'm happy with those.
Yeah. So many quality of life updates get packaged in with these. Like, I enjoy the maps. I love Infection. I can really tell they spent a lot of time creating that mode. The real star player of Infection to me is the map pool. You know, you've got Unishek's 3 variants, and then you have the Forge Canvas ones, and fantastic for play. It seems like there's maybe one in the group that I don't enjoy, but everything about Infection seems spot on. I mean, Rip and you and I sort of agree, Last Man Standing seems to get just a little bit too much points.
Again, I've already spoken at 343 on this. Last Man Standing gets 35 points, which is the equivalent to 7 kills. On some maps, that wins you the game.
Yeah.
If you're like me, I've got 111 Last Man Standing, so that means I've won a lot of games because of that feature. I've told Unishek to turn it down. Unishek is getting a lot of airtime in this podcast, but he is like our focus because we do all feedback to him. I've told him to turn it down to 20 points or 25. But I think that's the only difference. And the Crypt in Infection is just not a good map because it's just too open, so zombies can't do anything, in my opinion.
Okay. Lurker, you getting there? Brains, zombies, get eaten yet?
I haven't been able to play any Infection. It wasn't really my thing.
Man.
I played a little bit in Reach, but
Okay.
I do like the idea that, from what I understand, it's the most social playlist in Halo 5. Like, it literally feels like there's no true skill behind the scenes, which is a big issue with a lot of the social playlists in Halo 5. That the true skill is so heavy.
Yeah.
I have a friend, Genesis Rider, who can't play in BTB. Even with Expanded, he still can't find matches because his true skill is so strong. So it sounds like they've eased up on that quite a bit with Infection, which is something I like. So I'm looking forward to getting on and giving it a try.
Shall I get really nerdy here about the whole social ranking
I mean,
stuff?
we could do a whole show about that, but...
We can, but the basics are, social in Halo 5 is not social. There is still MMR, which is matchmaking skill rating, effectively, so you do have a rank. And if you go to my profile in Halo Waypoint, I have a rank 10 champion in social doubles, for example. It actually says it on their website, I'm a champion in a social playlist, which means I cannot find games. But Infection seems to actually have no ranks, even on like the focused search settings. I can still find a game. It just improves connection in social, which is nice. It's the first social place, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I desperately wish Infection was there from day one on launch because it really... I see it offering the more casual player a very chill environment to stick around where, you know, Halo 5, we're all experienced with the Halo series. We came in, we sort of knew what to expect, and it was challenging. It continues to be a challenge. You're matching people of your skill or higher continually, and the ranking system does its job very well, I think.
Oh, yeah.
But that would scare... If I was a new player and I came into Halo 5, I guarantee you I would not stick around because the learning curve is already fairly steep, and there's just not a whole ton of options outside of Warzone. So, Infection, you've got a fantastic model. Now just make sure it's in the next game at launch, boom. Just make sure there's some of these playlists at launch because, yes, folks game for competitive reasons, but at the same time, we also game to relax and have fun. The good old days, boys.
Yeah. I mean, for me, like, a gold player in Halo 5 is like, it's like the dodo. It's like an extinct animal I've never seen before. It's like, I don't know what those players are like or where they exist in Halo 5. I'm sure they're there, but...
Yeah. A lot of my friends are gold players and silver players, and when I search them, it's just a bloodbath. Because we search in any playlist in a group, and for some reason the Halo system goes off who is the highest skilled in the game. So it goes, oh, hello, Ripon, you have a good KD. We're going to place you and your 3 teammates who have not played the game in 2 months against... We're going to place you against straight Ripon today. And my teammate's just like, well, can you go on a second account, please? And it's like, oh, yeah, sure. And it's like, well... it is a bit strange, but I think it's better than having no ranking system, but it needs to just be tweaked a little bit. So Quindel Hoyo, the guy behind the ranks, just needs to have a bit of a focused group on this one and just kind of change it a little bit.
Dude, huge topic for another show. I feel like we just sit here. I mean, I'm bursting at the brim with stuff to say. I'm like, no, guys, we got a lot to get through. Next show, we'll get on the ranked versus, because it is extremely important moving forward with Halo.
I could talk for so long on that topic.
Why are people so salty there was no Falcon within Memories of Reach? I can't believe how much, like, I had some guy who said, BBK, you need to call them out for this. On my YouTube video talking about all the stuff, I'm like, I'm really excited about that. He's like, you need to call them out because this is a failure of an update. That is a quote from this YouTube comment, dude. Of a failure of an update because it didn't have the Falcon Wreck and it didn't have a grenade launcher. And I'm just sitting there going, are you serious, dude? Like, yeah, okay, it'd be cool. I'd love that. That'd be wonderful. That doesn't make it a failure of an update, dude.
So
I did see this. Look, you go ahead. You know more than me about this.
So in my opinion, no Falcon, this is just my personal preference. A grenade launcher would be way more important to me than a Falcon, like any day of the week. The grenade launcher is one of the sickest weapons in Halo history, and it hasn't made a reappearance since Reach. That's a huge deal to me, but thematically, them naming it Memories of Reach seems a little odd to me, just because there's some Reach armor in there, but as people are vehemently pointing out, we have no Falcon and no grenade launcher. I think it's easier for 343 to make some of these other weapon variants, like the Halo 2 battle rifle or the CE pistol. Those are basically taking the bones of another weapon, updating it, changing the skin, making it work and feel like the old weapon, but they're not reinventing the wheels, so to speak. I think making a Falcon, fitting it into Halo's sandbox, Halo 5 sandbox, is going to be a steeper task than a month's, free update is capable of doing. I think those resources just aren't there to add that whole new vehicle to the sandbox. I'm not super worried about it. I gotta admit, when I looked at the notes for Memories of Reach, I was a little disappointed. But, it falls in line with what we've gotten in past updates, and I'm not heartbroken about it. Again, though, the grenade launcher, please, just
bring it back.
I'll pay any amount. I'll
no, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't tell them that. No.
You're gonna get into a whole nother topic of stuff that we don't need to go into.
No,
I didn't say that.
I agree, though.
Radio
I agree.
edit.
I imagine the physics engine alone would need to be tweaked to add these features. And what did they actually add? What vehicle was it? Was it what's it called? No, what did they add?
Phaeton.
What was it called? Phaeton. It's just a reskin and a slight tweak of numbers, isn't it? Like, yes, it's got some fancy laser beams, but that will... To actually add a new vehicle to the sandbox would take a massive amount of work. And Halo 5 right now is nearly 86 gigabytes or something? That's like a fifth of my hard drive gone just in Halo 5.
And MCC takes up another fifth of it.
Oh, man.
No, it's 65 is MCC, I believe. And they're getting to the point where this game is getting a bit chubby now.
It's chubby.
And if they keep... and the next DLC is going to be an extra couple gig at least. And we're getting to the point where if you have to re-download the game for any reason, even on my connection, it's going to take such a long time. So I understand why they're not adding new things to the sandbox, to be honest. Although grenade launcher, rest in peace, favourite weapon in any Halos. It's such a good weapon.
Brings a new meaning to Xbox exclusive. It takes up all of your Xbox. Boom.
The Halo 5 edition Xbox, just with one game.
You had that one ready. You had that one as ammo before the show. I know it. You thought it up first.
I was saving it, man.
Yeah. I read a tweet about that. That's why. It's getting a bit chubby now.
Well, I don't know if there's a whole lot more to cover with Memories of Reach, because I think overall successful update. Maybe if they would have changed the name, but I think the name works with the armor that they stuck in there. Yeah, it would have been cool to see some more Reach throwbacks and toss-throughs. But that emblem, the loading screen emblem, I look at that and I go, that's pretty cool. It's pretty creative, guys. I like that.
What loading screen emblem?
You know the emblem that some people are running that has the little like checkered board that's animated?
Yeah.
Oh, the antidote.
That's the loading screen from Reach.
Yeah,
antidote. Yeah.
So I thought that was fairly cool.
I thought I missed something really key there. I thought like when I booted up the game, there's a new emblem.
No.
Okay, no, we're good. I'm not as stupid as I thought I were. We're good.
My favorite little...
I can't take off the Cray Spartan emblem though. That's my emblem for life when it comes to Halo 5.
Yeah,
so.
I rock that as well. Always will do.
That is one of the best things. I just so proud to be a part of something that they did that. And like you said, Lurker, I'm never changing that emblem because it has a much broader meaning, a much more important meaning. And that was pretty cool. So
yeah, it's a good addition.
Indeed. E3 predictions. Really looking forward to talking about this. I had like one more thing I wanted to say, but it's totally gone in one ear and out the other. So, wow.
What it was. Was it the sorry to interrupt.
No. Go.
Expanded, and was it the matchmaking search settings that you wanted to talk about?
We could, but I don't have enough data to talk about it. You probably can. So there's 3 new matchmaking settings.
I have tested it, but it's really not that interesting.
We've also
Honestly,
got
I'll go through it. There's 3 settings: expanded, focused, and balanced. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
They make no difference, really. Expanded, it just finds the game a bit quicker. But the problem is, expanded, you find the worst connection games I've ever experienced. Balanced is kind of just what it was previously, and focused bases everything off skill. And there's no, it's really strange. Like, in free-for-all, the focus setting goes purely off rank, so I will personally match only champions, but the problem is it doesn't check connection. Balance checks connection and skill, puts me in a very good game. Expanded just goes, here's some players, go and play. So I was champion 30-something, and I matched Diamond 1.
Oh.
I was like, and I won that game quite handedly, to be honest. Cause I was playing quite well, so I'd just been going for all the settings. So they do need some tweaks. I would like to see different settings. I would like to see good skill, good connection, or balanced. Not because it doesn't really make any sense. Just connection, rank, what it was previously. That's all I have to say on that topic, because it's just another good addition that was nice. It doesn't really change much, but I like the addition.
110% agree. Before we move on real fast, I love the fact that I can now have the same vertical sensitivity as my horizontal sensitivity. Thank you, 343 team, for continuing to add tons of controller settings. I'm a nerd about that stuff, and I love it. And having that 1-to-1 feels good, Rippin'. For the first few days, it didn't, but feels real nice. All right,
I
E3.
personally didn't change.
Yeah, I know you didn't, because you're like, I'm doing just fine on it. We're playing Infection. You're like, there's my Killionaire. I'm like, all right, it is working just fine for you. I see that.
It's fine for me. E3.
Yeah. What do we think we're going to see there? Obviously, Halo Wars 2, I bet we're getting a release date. We're going to see some gameplay there. But it can't just be Halo Wars 2. I mean, the Xbox media briefing, a huge portion of it always is 343 getting up there. So, any stabs in the dark?
Maybe.
Good answer.
Maybe
I wanted Lurker to go first. Lurker, go first. I have my own opinion on this.
Okay.
I think a massive update, like late fall or something like that, would be in order.
Okay.
Like maybe double the size of the normal updates we get, and maybe this one would even be paid.
Okay.
I would like to see that. Or that
Like,
coupled with, the previous game and all of those updates. I don't know. I would like to see some kind of massive update, because I don't think they're going to just let Halo 5 go all the way through next year.
No. They have ways to monetize it, because you've got HCS going on another round with Halo 5. And I'm leaning towards your boat. I think there will be some form of paid expansion DLC or something relating to Halo 5. Maybe it's even in-engine. I've always kind of felt like it would be more single-player oriented. I have had people comment saying, BBK, they've said there's never going to be any single-player expansion stuff for Halo 5. Okay, thank you for that. Got that out of the way. But they've worked hard to not split the multiplayer community, and we've seen in the past DLC for Halo has continually done that. In Halo 4, for the most part, other than like the last DLC, Harvest and the bigger ones, like you never played them outside of the launch week, because you buy them, people play it, and then as the population falls off, you're only matching folks who don't have it. Some do, some don't, and if some don't, you just never play it again. So I don't know. Like, I love Halo 5 and the fact that we're all together, we all have the same map pool, and I just don't see them going, here's 10 new maps for the people who buy them, and people don't buy them, you're never gonna get to play them. So it's just, I don't know.
Okay. First of all, please do not launch multiplayer DLC where some people have it and some people don't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That ruins games so quick. It
Yep.
doesn't matter what the title is, it just ruins them completely. Because you have to have separate playlists, and population thins out as the game gets older anyway, and at this point, I don't know how much financial gain 343 would get from having paid DLC.
Yeah.
Yes, they might get, I don't know, 100 grand just pulling a figure out of the air there with no real statistics. Just don't do it. But from my E3 prediction, Bonnie Ross is going to walk on the stage at the end of the Xbox press conference. They will announce something to do with HCS, like the finals for the Halo 5 series, the Season 2.
Yeah.
And then they'll most likely have Halo Wars news, and then a cinematic for Halo 6. Because over the last few Halo 3s, the last E3s, so that's the correct phrase there. Over the last few E3s, Halo's always been last on stage. I don't know if you've noticed that, but it's always last on stage. It's always a big reveal. And I honestly think it's either going to be some kind of PC release or Halo 6 cinematic. And then they'll close E3, and then Major Nelson will just go, and back to the studio.
Yeah.
Whatever, And I think that'll be kind of it. I think Halo 5 still has a bit of life left in it. Just a little bit. So it's going to be tricky because E3 is, next month?
Yeah, it's the beginning of June. So
it'll be a CGI trailer or HCS related. I don't think there's much more to go. And Halo Wars release date as well.
The Xbox One media, or the Microsoft media briefing or whatever, is Monday. It's June something. It's like June 11th or 12th or whatever. So, yeah, I think that's the most realistic thing, Rippin. That sounds pretty plausible. But
when we think back to, Halo 5 had a cinematic reveal a long time before it actually was revealed fully and came out. So there could be a Halo 6 just cinematic teaser. Who knows?
I would have played a game of Master Chief walking through the desert in a cloak. Why that didn't actually come to fruition in Halo 5, I'm going, dude, come on. I was looking forward to that for years. Like, he's going to pull out his sword.
Halo 5's campaign.
No.
Yeah, that's another show's worth of material also.
We could, again, another topic, another time. So, Halo Wars, I didn't play the original Halo Wars. I am going to play Halo Wars 2 because it has keyboard and mouse support. I'm going to try and port over the StarCraft skills. If it has crossplay, I'm hoping to start beating the floor, mopping up some nubbies, some RTS nubs, see how it goes, Because, by the way, there can't be crossplay. Like, if there's multiplayer, there's no way someone on a controller could ever match a keyboard mouse with RTS. And it sounds really elitist, but there's just like... There's no way, depending on how
actions per minute.
All that stuff
there's no match there.
Why not just add keyboard and mouse support to the Xbox One? Because they did it with Xbox 360 very briefly.
Then why would you ever buy a Windows 10 machine, Rippin?
Because you're still paying for the license for the game.
Okay, yeah. We are so close to it. They're just basically
It's
PCs.
going to happen. It is going to happen. That is the thing. It is cross-pay. There was a game on Xbox 360 which had cross-pay with PC. Shadowrun.
Quantum Break too, right? Oh, no. Quantum Break is
Shadowrun for the 360 had cross-play with PC on the old school Windows store.
And PC players mopped the floor with console players, if I remember correctly.
Oh, yes, they did.
Yeah.
Having been on the Xbox side, I got destroyed in that game. But I think it can happen. I mean, I don't know. Maybe not.
Okay.
It's a topic for another day.
Totally. Guys, if you want to tweet us at the Mythic Cast, what you think is going to be at E3, we'd love to hear your feedback. Probably by the time that most of you guys have listened to this, E3 is going to be going down anyway. But all right, boys, we're in the last 10 minutes of the show here. What do we think the future support of Halo 5 looks like after the Firefight update? We sort of touched on this a bit. I don't see 343 dropping it cold turkey. We were told very publicly we're getting free support, these updates until the end of June. We're almost at the end of June. We know what the last bits of updates look like. It's Hog Wild and then the Firefight update. But what are they going to do looking forward? There has to be a sustaining team, but I imagine it's going to be a bit smaller, and they're going to be pushing some of these community team members onto Halo 6 or whatever the next FPS project is for them. So we already mentioned paid DLC. We don't sort of see that being that much of an option. But do you think we're going to get content updates similar to what we've gotten so far past June?
I think, and I'm hoping this is good. Do you remember the Halo 3 TU Title Update 2 or TU2 update where they added XP per playlist?
Yes.
Oh. I think that is a possibility because I've seen 3 or 4 people now hit the maximum rank in Halo 5, and God bless you for how much Warzone you guys have played.
Oh my gosh.
Jeez. But I think that is a real possibility because at the moment, there's no real way to track your progress in the game. You don't know who's better, who's played more for a second account, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And kind of like when you get past level 90, everyone knows the game. Yeah. And I think it would be cool to have a playlist XP, and then you can have that 5-star general in the playlist of your choice.
Yeah.
And I think that also keeps players coming back to the game, which Halo needs moving into Halo 6. That, for me, would be the ideal thing. And also, please, a Forge community playlist, both team and free-for-all, because we haven't had that yet, really. I know we had the doubles event, which had a couple Forge maps in there, but I think Forge playlist, XP counters, and maybe more community stuff from 343. I like the little streams they do, but I'd like to see more of them, not just for updates. I'd like to see play dates, similar to what Bungie do for Destiny.
Yeah.
I think those things are really interactive, and I think it gives people something to latch onto when the game is quiet, which obviously Destiny goes quiet for a longer period of time than Halo does, but I think those would be my 3 kind of things. Community ride-alongs or whatever in Halo, multiplayer update for XP, and just general playlist tweaks. We still don't have doubles, for example. I mean, another topic which I'm a bit annoyed about, but, I think those 3 things would be a solid addition to the game.
Okay. Lurker?
I would like to see, and I don't know if this exists and we don't know about it, or I don't know about it, but I would like to see 343 set up a team specifically dedicated to maintaining community map implementation. So just a small team of people that can test maps, try them out, send them up to the pro team sends them back, and then we can implement those into matchmaking so that the game's always changing. I mean, we have a huge community of people that are creative and smart, and they can make maps that are absolutely insanely good, and to have those consistently rotating into matchmaking would be a dream come true, in my opinion. It's one of the things that saved Reach, in my opinion, so it'll just expand the lifespan of Halo 5. It'll keep people playing, and that's what I would like to see above anything else.
I'm going to jump on the Forge train as well. I really want to see more Forge maps in the game. That, like you said, with Reach, it was so fun with the arena seasons because a new Forge map is in here, and I learned them, and I really enjoyed them, and they kept stuff fresh. And the same thing, Arena, man, 4v4 maps have just, for me, I think most of them are pretty darn good, but I want to see something fresh. We've been playing the same maps now since launch, and yeah, they're changing the weapon arrangement, and that keeps it a little bit fresh, but new sight lines, new maps to learn, new callouts. Please, you've got a fantastic Forge, the best Forge you've ever had. And now you've got a lot of creators who are going to be starting up on the PC. So much potential. Tap into that. I'm going to say, and this might be up for discussion, I wish ranking seasons were 2 months instead of 1 month. Every time I come back, it's like 10 more games in all of the playlists that I want to be ranked in. I mean, Rippin, you're more the arena guy than me, but preseason and season 1 and 2, I did it. But season 3 and whatever, moving forward, I've fallen off with a lot of the playlists just because I'm like, man, I'm just tired of doing this every single month. Am I crazy?
No, you're not, because I'm the same. In the first few seasons, I got Onyx or Champion and everything. Same for Season 2 and Season 3. Yeah. But in the last couple of seasons, I've played Breakout and Free For All. And the problem is the actual ranks don't reset, and people don't... Not a lot of people really know this, but the ranks are actually still there. You just can't see them. So you play your 10 games, and your first game will be at the exact same rank you played last season, so you're automatically kind of placed in that kind of echelon of players. So if you rank Diamond, your next season's going to start in Diamond. And it'll take a lot of bad playing or supremely good playing to change that particular position. And I get why they do that, because it stops people from effectively smurfing on their main account. So if I get placed Onyx one season, I can't lose games on purpose and then start in Bronze. I get that. But I think it's a bit too strict. So if you go away for 2 months and come back after not playing, you are going to be a worse player, but you're still going to get rated at what you were at your peak. Unless you play absolutely astonishingly bad. I'd like a full reset as well, but the season length thing, I think Quinn Del Hoyo tweeted out a couple of weeks ago, they are looking at making it 6 weeks in the future. But for me, it makes no difference, personally, because it doesn't actually reset. So.
MMR decay is something that was in StarCraft 2, which, by the way, Joshua Menke was the main designer of that.
He was.
And he worked at 343 before MCC and was working on the ranking system for Halo 5 and MCC. He's no longer with the company, but SC2 implemented MMR decay, which means when you go away, your MMR starts just dropping off at some mathematical curve downwards, so that when you return, let's say I was a Diamond player back in like November, right? And I've taken a break since November and I'm coming back. I might be playing Plat players now, okay? And while it's nice, it created some serious problems where we had Masters level players who were versing Golds and Platinums. And it's the tweaking of it has to be spot on. And I agree with you. I think there should be some way to ease players back into it, but it's a really double-edged sword because basically for the back half of Heart of the Swarm, 10 months worth of StarCraft 2, you were versing monstrous players way beyond your league, and it just felt crushingly difficult. So I would like to see that, but all right.
Ranking is so hard to get right. I think 1 to 50 system was the best, but it was so abusable, so they can't use it. Seasons is one thing.
I mean, I
miss 1 to 50.
I would like to see a longer season, but with a little bit of that building up feeling that you got through the 1 through 50 system. Whew, I couldn't say 1 through 50 there. So I would like to see. I think a lot of people enjoyed that grind, from 1 all the way up through the ranks, and you don't really get that sense in Halo 5, like you said, when you do your placement matches again. You're basically playing players in the same ranking as you were before, and the 10 matches feel more like a rite of passage, or more like they feel more like an invisible way of saying you're in this rank, but we just got to get you through these 10 matches to show you you're in this rank. I would like to see a bit of that building up, and then again, if you like, I take breaks from Halo 5 now and again, and I would like to come back and not be playing the same diamond players I was playing before. So.
Yeah, I think another aspect is, when was the last time you saw a bronze player?
That's what I'm saying. They're like
ever. I've never seen a silver, dude.
I mean, I've glitched into the lower seasons on purpose, but you start too high up. You place Onyx and Diamond. I think you should be placing in the bottom 3 tiers and build yourself up to champion.
Exactly.
Yes.
Not get placed 100 CSR away, because those 3 lower tiers are so underutilized. It's incredible. I've played like legit bronze players, and they do deserve that lower rank, and I don't mean that in a harsh way. There are some people who don't have the skill of some others. That's completely natural in FPS, but they're so underutilized because diamond players are getting placed in Onyx, and it goes all the way down because they're so scared of putting people in low ranks, in my opinion, because it comes across like an ego hit. Like, if I got placed in Platinum, it's like, oh my god, I'm so offended. Like, why have you done this to me, 343? I am so much better than these plebs who are in the same league right now. But I think you should have to build up, and I think that's why 1 to 50 succeeded, because you did have to work and earn it, and you don't just get placed after 10 random games where you might get fluky.
It was that grind, yeah. And the way it is now, it feels as though you're very static. It takes a lot of work to get up, but to stay where you are takes very minimal work. I've played placement matches where I've lost a lot of my matches, playing solo predominantly. I've lost a lot of my matches and still been placed back in Diamond 1 or High Platinum.
Exactly.
Well, again, perspective here from StarCraft 2, just because Joshua Menke worked on the system. I have done 5 ranking up series where you go from bronze all the way up to platinum and show people at each of the different levels, this is how you play and this is the different stuff. I can win all 5 of my placement matches on a fresh account in StarCraft 2 and be placed into silver, period. And that is different than Halo 5 because you can match, let's say in your 10 matches, you win 9 of them. It's a good chance you're going to be put in plat, or potentially, like, I remember in the preseason, and I guess season 1 doesn't count, but preseason I got thrown into diamond like right off the bat, which was like,
that's interesting.
That's cool.
I won my first 10 games. I got champ 1.
Or population.
Did you really?
In the first,
my
first
gosh.
2 seasons, because it was first come first serve. Remember back in those days.
And population
takes a bit different.
Population's a huge factor in that too, because I remember back in the day, or not back in the day, but when Halo 5 first came out, free for all was like super easy to get Onyx in free for all, and I'm not an Onyx free for all player. Like in 100% accuracy, I'm not an Onyx free for all player. I'll be the first one to tell you. And I got Onyx somehow, and I lost, like I said, the majority of my games leading up to that.
Yeah. Them first 2 seasons for a free-for-all player was like shooting fish in a barrel. Like, there were Onyx players who shouldn't have been silver. It was really broken. I think they did tweak it, to be fair, but yeah. We could get. That's another topic.
Right. It is, boys.
We're complicated. Yeah.
Well, we'll table that discussion for the next show. The next time we're going to be coming to people, it's going to be after E3. We're going to have a ton to talk about, and I really am excited for this adventure. Thanks, Lurker. Thanks, Rippin. And we're going to have guests on in future programs. If you have any feedback for us, we'd love to hear it over on our Twitter. But where can people find your content, Rippin, and then Lurker?
Yeah. My YouTube is youtube.com/Rippin. It's RHIPPIN. And my Twitter is LouisJ, LEWIEJAY. And on the YouTube stuff, I just create really sweaty content and infection, so a bit of both worlds. But don't expect Warzone on my channel, because I don't play it. I'm sorry.
Oh, we got the anti-Warzone boy over here, man.
I have one Warzone video, actually, I think.
Man,
I think it's like 28 minutes long as well. It's a long one.
I was going to say something that would get me in trouble. I'm not going to do that. Lurker, where can people find your content?
So you can find me on my inactive YouTube channel at YouTube. It's at The Lurker0, THE Lurker0, and Twitter at Lurker0. I upload, when I do upload, just sort of topical commentaries talking about the scene and things going on with my real life, and it's all behind Halo gameplay, mostly Warzone, so enjoy.
Very good. You can follow me at BBKDRAGOON on Twitter, same name on YouTube. Guys, awesome job. Anything that we didn't cover, didn't say?
No. Well, this show is going to be in like nearly an hour long. I'm looking forward to the after E3 predictions. Let's see who's right.
Yeah,
Ooh,
good luck
yeah.
trying to shove that into an hour, man. All right, thanks for listening, everybody. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.